This is my boy Fight Fan. Fight Fan, yeah, man. Rich Franklin was the guy who brought conditioning and athleticism and training to MMA for sure. You know, I've talked about it recently. Like, MMA used to be a bunch of, or excuse not MMA, because MMA didn't exist. Martial arts used to be kind of like this dork's world. And any megalomaniac could create like a cult following. And that's what they were. Like every teacher had their own cult. And there were all kinds of teachers, like fat ones, totally out of shape, ones that couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, ones that were like really tough street fighters that were nasty and probably not good teachers like John Kreese. But it's funny, it didn't matter. Like you could get people to follow you. It just depended where you were and, you know, how things went for you that way. Now, that changed in MMA. Like some of that stuff, like Tank Abbott was an actual brutal man and obviously knew some martial arts, but he wasn't in any kind of shape to fight, right? That was apparent by like his body type and everything else. And what Rich Franklin did is he brought like the actual training in there and showed everyone, hey, this is, and it's a really important part of the game. I mean, you look at the Derek Galatas you see back there. Listen, man, it was nothing back then for me to wake up, run 7 miles, take a kickboxing class, go to jujitsu at night, and then do yoga, right? Like, my cardio was off the hook, although you always feel like you still need to improve it or maintain it or whatever. But there's other elements that go beyond that, right? Like, you need to also be very tough. You need to, you need to have your weight on a point where like you can take an amount of punishment and dish it out. And I don't think I was there at that body weight, at that size and everything else. So there's a perfect blending. Like, it pays to be like Rich Franklin. That having been said, do aerobic instructors win world titles? No, they don't, right? So it's got to be some melding of the two. What's the perfect combination? Well, that's the game, right? Everybody's always trying to figure that out. Like, what is the perfect amount of cardio and whatnot and running and this and that to strength training and power training and actual sparring? You know, Sean Strickland spars all the time. That's what I eventually got to do too, but it becomes what you really like what you like doing. Like, I never liked long distance running. I became good at it because I thought I needed to be a great fighter. And as it turns out, you actually don't necessarily need to be great at long distance. Another one of the boxing myths that was around for a long time. But that's okay, man. Like, look, it's different for everybody. Some people may find long distance running very important. I can tell you this, my cardio was a big weapon back then. Why? Because no matter what happened, I could just back off and I could get my, my breath again and then keep going. And other fighters couldn't maintain it because they couldn't run 7 miles in the morning, do kickboxing, do jiu-jitsu, do yoga at night. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Rich Franklin, we'll never forget him. And everybody read my book, Warrior of the Light.